The next one is similar to this one, and it's called the day-age theory. And a lot of Christians like this one as well. In fact, in my Scofield Reference Bible, and Scofield wrote this, I think, in the late 1800s, so he would have been a contemporary of Darwin, and he's writing in response to this to try to preserve the integrity of the scriptures and to show how it's not contradicting Darwin's Origin of Species, at least some parts of it. And so what the day-age theory does, it takes that verse that says, a day with the Lord is as 1,000 years, and they say, you know, the Hebrew word for day is yom.
Which also means era.
What's that?
Which also means era.
Right, so depending on the context, just like in English, we could talk about the day of the dinosaurs, the day of the days of the American Revolution, the day of the Lord as an up and coming event, or we can talk about it as days of the week. And so, context. Generally, when you put the Hebrew day with a number or a qualifier, that tells you what kind of day it is. Is this the day of Abraham, or is this Monday, day of the week, day one, or Sunday, day one of the week? All right, so day-age theory, and what this allows people to do, and this is what Scofield does, he simply takes the days of the week and he puts them into epochs of time. So, you know, if we're talking about the Cenozoic, the Cambrian, the Precambrian, the Jurassic, all these different periods would then go into like days of time. And that's basically how that one works. Once again, they're going to have similar pros. It allows you to reconcile the scriptures with modern science. You can have an old earth and a literal Adam too. Similar problems. We got death before sin again. We've got, it's another post-1859 theory. But now we have other problems. If these are epochs of time, we don't just have plants 24 hours before the sunlight. It could be 1 billion years before the sunlight. Now we got a problem. Scofield deals with this in a very interesting way. He says if you look at the Hebrew word for light, let's go down to the planets. Because we get the planets day 4, we get the plants day 3. So if we go to this word for made, these are the different ways that Hebrew word can be translated. What Scofield says is, it's not that God made the sun, moon, and stars on day 4, but he allowed them to be seen. They were visible on day 4. So that's, and I think that's fair. It's a little fudgy, but it's, especially if you take the view, right, in Genesis 1:1, that God's making everything, and now God's revealing things progressively as he's unfolding creation. Does that make sense? Okay. So there would be light, photosynthesis stuff going on for that epoch of time in between day 3 and 4. We just simply wouldn't visibly be able to see the sun, moon, and stars until then. Other people have theories like this is where the floodwaters came from, was that dome of water over the earth. As God broke up the fountains of the deep, he also brought down the dome from above, which raised the water levels covering the earth. And so I was thinking about that the other night. I love to go outside and look at the stars, the heavens. And when we get clouds, it really does feel like you're in a dome, right? Because you can't see that cold expanse of space. You feel like you're in this neat little, almost in a blanket, right? And you're sheltered and comfy and all that. But I'm thinking, if you were living in a world where you never saw the stars, you saw maybe a fuzzy sun and moon through this like water vapor canopy going around, like you're in a giant terrarium sort of, like this Jurassic Park, Edenic world, pre-fall world. And then after the flood, if that was gone, it would almost be like God took the blinders off and showed you the horror of how tenuous our position is in the cosmos. We're on this little speck flinging through space, and we can see all this, and it shows us how tiny and little and insignificant you are. If you're in a dome, you loom pretty big, If you're on a little speck, on a ball, whipping around a star, whipping around a black hole, whipping around who knows what, it makes us really insignificant.